it's not disappointing. It's we're gutted with the result. Can't hide behind the fact that it was five goals, 5 mistakes, individual errors. 4 goals on Friday, 4 individual errors. Nothing to do with any kind of tactics or system. It's about players taking accountability, making silly mistakes, and there's no excuses. I don't. What I said to him in there, I don't want him to think, because we've not got Nico, because we've not got LGP, we've got a few injuries and suspensions. That is the worst thing. That's the worst excuse. We had players on that field tonight that were well capable of defending those 5 goals really well. And what is happening at the moment is that we're hiding behind excuses and not taking accountability for simple basic fundamentals of defending. And it's unacceptable, and I have to take full responsibility with the players for that. And that's my overriding feeling in a game when I've got to say, in the front 6 of the field, I thought our forwards linked well. They tried to do the right things. They tried to cause problems. We created chances, but ultimately, when Nashville went forward, it looked like they could score. And I think that the last goal probably summed up my feelings in the game when simple ball down the line, somebody wanted to get there before our player, and then there was a run on the other side where somebody wanted to score a goal more than our defender wanted to defend. So we've got to make big decisions in the next game or the next couple of games in terms of personnel, and in terms of the ones that really want to defend, the ones that really want to put the bodies on the line, the ones that really want to block shots, head the ball, and those that don't will be sat next to me on the bench.
If you have a question in the room, please raise your hand. As a reminder, 1 question per term, and wait for the microphone. Go ahead, Lauren, then Michelle.
Thanks, Rafa. Hi, Phil.
Hey, Lauren.
The playoff race is still incredibly tight. We are heading to important away games. How does the team regroup for these matches?
We have to regroup. We have to regroup because the season is in that we're on that line now where it could go so good or it could go so bad. And I think what we've seen with this team is that there's no in between, and that's my real disappointment tonight as a coach, is that we thought that we'd closed the gap in terms of our inconsistencies. Today was our rebound game. Today was the game where we wanted to show our identity in terms of we'd gone 4 games with clean sheets previous to the last 2 games. And I thought we'd just close the gap in terms of our intensity, in terms of dealing with adversity, and in terms of that real strong mentality. But we reverted back to type a little bit tonight. So that's the challenge over the next 6 days. Is we've got to regroup over the next 2 days. We go again on Saturday, but we've got to make sure that we're working on our mentality to actually want to do the things in football that will make you successful. You can't just keep turning it on like a tap or expect somebody to come and knock at your door and give you a playoff place. There are plenty. I've watched all the teams. All the teams will want to get into the playoffs. And there's some quality teams in and around this pack that we're in. And at this moment in time, we've dipped badly, and we need to get out of this dip very quickly.
Next question, Michelle. Then we'll go to Franco.
Phil, you said yesterday that, I think it was yesterday, I guess, or whenever we spoke to you on Monday, that you saw the Iron, the Tiger again, and the players. You thought that things were looking good. It is true, though, that Nico was, out since the 37th minute of the last game, out again today. I mean, did you have any reason to think that they were not going to be able to respond and replace those 2 guys?
Well, I thought we would respond. I saw great qualities. I think you saw in Gonzalo tonight. I think I always look at him as a yardstick for the team, and I thought he was class in terms of his ability, in terms of his control, in terms of his drive to try and make something for the team at 3-1. I saw him thinking we can get back into this. But ultimately, we were let down by individual errors. The Gregory sending off wasn't a sending off. That's fundamentally was a wrong decision. But ultimately, that's Gregory misses the next 2 games now. He misses the road trip to Atlanta and Portland. But ultimately, whoever's on that pitch, you've still got to defend. Whoever's on that pitch, you've just got to stay with runners, defend crosses, block crosses. And at the moment, we've got a little bit of a softness to our approach to defending because we want to play well with the football, because we think, we're just going to be a possession-based team. we've probably lost that mentality of actually wanting to defend first, and they have that. Nashville, you saw at the end, they put 4 or 5 men, they block shots, they slide in. That's what defenders should do. And that's what we need to get back. That's what we did when we went to Orlando twice. That's what we did when we played, them games when we were 4 games with a clean sheet. We were putting our bodies on the line. We've just got a softness now that we need to eradicate very quickly.
Next question, Franco.
Hey, Phil. With Julian there, he played in his first start since July. Played out left for a little bit, or out on the right for a little bit. Then you put him a little more central. What was the idea behind him, and what was the idea to attack with him there on the wing, not in his natural position?
Sorry, ask that question again.
Juli. What would you think about Juli? What was the reasoning behind putting him there out?
Yeah, Juli's been doing well in training. We knew it would cause problems for them. Running in behind, I thought the kid did really well. He tired a little bit. That's why we brought Robbie on. Robbie wasn't 100% fit. And Carranza's been really good in training the last 10 to 15 days. So it was an opportunity to put freshness on the pitch. It was an opportunity to play someone that was really in form and that was hungry. And I thought he showed those qualities. And I think what we wanted Gonzalo to probably play a little bit deeper, and for him to penetrate in behind. And I thought he did some really good bits.
Any more questions? We'll go to Alex and then finish with Jose.
Hi, Phil.
Hi.
With Gregory sending off, you said that it wasn't necessarily sending off. Do you think that Inter Miami are maybe unfairly targeted by the refs in some of these games?
No, do you know what, Alex? I think that we were told he struck the back of the head of the defender. I think was it Lovitz? I think it was. He didn't do that, so ultimately we hope the referee looks at it and hopefully rescinds it to just a yellow card in terms of the first one. But ultimately we've got players that are missing games of football because of lack of discipline, so we can't blame the referee for 12 yellow cards for Leandro, for Gregory, and obviously the sending off the other day was a sending off. So 1 or 2 yellow cards you could probably moan about, complain about, but ultimately when you have 12 yellow cards, a couple of sendings off, if you're one player, then you need to look at yourself and think that you're costing your teammates at the moment in terms of your lack of discipline. And Gregory had to play in at centre-back today. I thought he was outstanding in terms of his ability to play at centre-back, but ultimately the lack of discipline will cost us away in Atlanta.
Last question, Jose.
Phil, do you feel, there's also a part in which, the opponent understands a little bit more of the system, especially in the last 2 games for you? Is there something in particular that you have seen on film that makes you think, well, maybe we have to change a little bit, we have to bring up the intensity? Is there anything in particular that opponents are doing differently in the last 2 games against Inter Miami?
We just need to defend better. The system wasn't at fault for the 5 goals or the 4 goals against New York Red Bulls. Individual errors was at fault for those goals. So we outnumbered them at times in midfield, in possession. We can be better in possession. We were sloppy at times. You think about the 4th goal, ball comes into a player, gives it away, they score. So I don't think it's anything to do with systems or the tactics. I think it's about people taking responsibility for defending, people taking responsibility for being hard to beat, defending crosses, blocking shots, staying with runners, and if we do that, we will win games. We've proven that over the last 2 months. If we don't do that, we'll keep getting beat, and that's the decision that the defenders, the team, have got to make now. Are they prepared to do the stuff that gets you to be successful? And it was a great example of Nashville doing it today, and we've had examples of that ourselves. I can't say that we've never seen it from this team. We've seen it. We went 4 games with 4 clean sheets, so we've got a good experience over the last month of doing it and doing it well. We just need to get back to that, and it's not getting back to that when they want. It's getting back to that now. It's getting back to that now.